Yeah, the live chat tomorrow night is celebrating 600 subscribers. That's why it's up to 602 now. But anyway, I won't be negative. Yeah, going back to the story, we've got to the point where we retired, where I retired. Pretty Pat retired when you were 50, 55 or something.
54, I think.
54.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah. I retired in 2016, around about July, I think. I was 69 and a half when I retired. So I'd been working since I was 15. So I thought I'd had enough. And
You always thought that you'd just carry on, didn't you? Because it was such an easy way of earning a living.
Yeah.
You said I can work into my 80s and as long as I don't lose my hearing.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
But
Most tuners did.
Yeah, it became evident that you didn't want to.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I wanted to do this, and if I waited any longer, I mean, we get interrupted as it is with medical things. Yeah, and I've already said, I believe, that we needed a base, and we'd investigated various sites, various static caravan sites, and that really what I ought to have done was put the Bailey pageant onto a seasonal pitch on there first for 6 months to see how we liked it or not. I should have done that and saved us money. But we made the mistake we went ahead and bought the caravan. That Pemberton, it was expensive, but it was a really, really good quality caravan. And we had a decking put on it, put a washing machine in it, and made it was good. It were overlooking the golf course. It should have been idyllic, and as I say, I sold the static, sold the Bailey pageant, sold that, and actually literally believed that we won't be doing it anymore.
I woke up one morning and he says, I've put the caravan on, what were it?
Frog, what?
No, can't remember.
Can't remember the site now.
Now, where you put it on, and within a few hours we had somebody ringing us.
I know, it sold.
I didn't even guess.
Sold the day I put it on. Yeah,
Oh.
It did.
Within a couple of days we were having to empty it all out, weren't we? Because they were coming for it.
I think
look at it. Oh, what it
same day.
Same day.
Same day, yeah.
It went so quick.
It did, yeah.
I didn't have time to think about it.
Yeah, it was a one-off. The Ardennes, it was a caravan that had been designed by a caravaner. Bailey had invited people to submit a design of a caravan, and they'd award the winning design. They'd build so many of them.
I don't think they built that many.
I don't think they built that many of them, but the Ardennes was one of those. So there weren't many of them about. It was a nice van.
Get a lot of people in, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Because we had our Alethia's birthday party when she was 7 or 8.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
On a site.
On a site, and we invited people, and it were great.
Well, massive awning.
Yeah.
On the side of it. Yeah. Well, it was 26 foot long and it had a full awning on it.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah, we moved. We sold the park home in Brigg and bought this static. And I thought, with all the surrounding area and it, with it being near the coast, we'd go off for days, and then if we wanted to go further afield, we'd stay in a hotel. But I forgot that I hate hotels. I forgot why I hate hotels. Because we did go off, went to Mundersley in Norfolk, stayed in a hotel in Mundersley, and
we had a nice time walking round and.
Mundersley were all right. It was hotel. Well, it wasn't their fault, I suppose. It was just the people in the next bloody room kept us awake until 3 o'clock in the morning. At which point we left. I said, "Come on, we're off," and we left the
Dragged me out of bed.
Dragged her out of bed and left the hotel at 3 in the morning and come home. And I thought, yeah, that's why I hate hotels, because they're noisy holes.
They were getting showers and I don't know.
Cardboard walls as usual.
It seemed to go on for ages, didn't it? The showering. And
crazy.
Early hours at morning.
It's that reminded me of why we went on caravanning in the first place, because I was sick of hotels and B&Bs and all. I never liked B&Bs. So that was one thing that, you see, you forget what you don't like. Forget what you like, forget what you don't like, I don't know. And that was one of the things. And then, I don't know, I never intended playing golf when we moved in on that site. But I realised after a while that there were no walks there. And I ought to have known, because in Lincolnshire, they're not like Yorkshire folk. You go for a walk. They don't tend to go for walks much. And you weren't allowed to walk round the golf course. You were not allowed to go for a walk around the golf course. So there was not really anywhere to walk. That was the first thing I realised. So I don't know, I took a walking stick down to the range and started hitting golf balls down at the range. And somebody lent me a golf club. So I started hitting these balls with a golf club, and then somebody started saying, "No, you're not doing that right. You need to do this." And I got interested. I got interested. I bought a second-hand set of clubs.
Which were a good golf kit, really. You found out, didn't you?
It was. Apparently there were really good clubs. I didn't know a good club from a bad club, but I was very fortunate. I got a good set of clubs. And I started playing, but it wasn't long before I started getting picked on it. Every time I went on that golf course, I getting picked up for summer. And all the things that I was getting criticised for, other people were doing it at will. And in the end, I blew up in the office and demanded why they were singling me out for treatment.
You had to pay, didn't you? You paid your fee.
Yeah. And then the weather was so, in the winter time, was so bad. It was just a bog. It was so boggy, they closed it a lot. So you'd paid your annual subscription and you couldn't get on it because of weather. And then, the neighbour. I'm afraid we had this guy who lived in the van next to us, was an alcoholic, and he had alcoholic dementia.
Yeah.
We were told by his brother who had power of attorney over him. And, that's when Pat started getting ill, because the guy thought our caravan were his. And he kept trying to get in.
He walked in one day when we were watching TV, didn't he?
Yeah.
About 4:30 after he'd been to the pub, and frightened us to death.
He did.
And we took him back to his caravan, and then one night at about 12 o'clock I could hear this bang, bang,
Bang, bang, bang on the door, trying to get in. He says, "What you doing in my van?" This guy put away gallons of beer every day.
They actually stopped him from drinking too much, didn't they?
They did. They put a limit. I mean, the shop put a limit on him. 8 cans a day were his limit, and then 4 pints in pub. That were his limit that they gave him, you know. God.
And I got so that every time I went out, he were there on decking watching, and I just got a bit paranoid about him.
Yeah.
And that's when my heart problems started then.
Aye.
I don't know whether it was being in contact with this poor chap that made me a bit...
That's when he's hospitals, in and out of hospital, you were there with your heart.
Yeah.
And we got ostracised because, you see, the guys who played golf, most of the people on this park were wealthy people. I mean, they all drove Mercedes and Jags, and they'd come on a Thursday for a long weekend, and they wanted me to join in with them playing golf, and they used to go boozing and other stuff, which I couldn't afford to do, and I wasn't prepared to leave Pat on her own either, and go off on these golfing trips. I didn't want to know about it, so I refused, and I carried on playing on my own, and that aggravated them. They didn't like me playing on my own, and then they all ostracised us then. Yeah. So we really realised that we didn't belong there on this place. We'd made a bad mistake buying this thing.
And at that time we bought the small camper as well, didn't we?
We decided
after the hotel fiasco.
We went and bought this camper van.
Thinking we'd just get off.
I'll put a link up. Where's my finger? Put a link up to the camper. I've got a few things on here about that camper that we bought. We bought that. That was another mistake. Oh God. Well, I think we'll leave it there. We'll move on to the camper mistake next. All right. I think that's enough mistakes for one day.
Life's big mistake.
Oh God, we're not fit to be let loose, to be honest.
Yeah.
See you later then.
Bye.
Bye. Don't forget tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. That's Sunday the 21st, 7 o'clock. At night, not at morning. Bye.